Welcome to the very first EagleSixerNATION podcast. I am your host, Edan, Castiel, and I'm sitting here with Connor Zordan, Thomas Mellon, and Kyle Campo. This podcast is created to branch off an Instagram page, EagleSixerNATION, which has been amazing to run for the past few weeks. I am here with my best friends who plan to dedicate their time to run this amazing podcast. This podcast will air weekly on Fridays, where you can hear sports arguments, news, and everything sports. Before we get started, I thought we should take a moment and tell the viewers a little bit about ourselves.
All right, so my name's Connor Zordan. I'm in 10th grade. I am 15, and my affiliation with Philly sports is I actually started as a Pittsburgh fan, but before I was in the whole NFL and all that, but switched to Philly 7 years ago, and it's been a really fun 7 years rooting for the best city in the world. So, yeah.
So I'm Thomas. I'm in 10th grade. My dad is from Ireland. They're crazy about sports. So the first thing he connected with was sports when he moved here from Ireland. So I was born into it. Really couldn't be happier about it.
Alright, my name's Kyle. I'm 15. I'm in 10th grade. And I'm a huge Eagles fan. My dad was actually a Giants fan growing up, even though he lived in, Pennsylvania, the Norristown area all of his life. And, so yeah, he became an Eagles fan later in his life, which, let's put it right here, he liked the Giants because of the players on the team.
Okay.
It was a good team.
So, yeah, he liked them in the 80s. Now we're a big Eagles family. And
Already getting tension in here.
I hate Texas.
My name is Edan Castiel, and I am the creator of the EagleSixerNATION Instagram page, and I'm 15 years old. I'm in 10th grade, and I grew up as actually a Jets fan because of my dad, and, after the butt fumble, as a young kid, it really scarred me. So...
How'd you feel when Mark Sanchez came back?
How'd you feel when Mark Sanchez was an Eagle?
All that stuff was just awful, but I really became an Eagles fan when Nick Foles first came to the Eagles, and since then, I've been a diehard Eagles fan, diehard Sixers fan, everything to do with Philly sports. I just love it, and that's why I created this podcast. But to start off with our very first argument or segment, we're going to talk about the Eagles free agency market. And, we had some major signings with...
Malik Jackson.
Yeah, we had Malik Jackson. We had the trade for Deshaun Jackson.
We just signed a linebacker.
LJ Ford. We signed him to a 3-year, $5.6 million contract.
He's a backup. He's not really anything.
But the one thing we haven't addressed yet, which has been which I feel like is a major need, is backup quarterback because of Carson Wentz's injury resume.
I think Sudfeld's fine.
Doug Peterson already did come in and say, though, that he wasn't just going to hand Sudfeld.
Sudfeld is a starting caliber, or not a starting caliber, but he's not a bad quarterback. Obviously, you can go get somebody else.
There is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I think
Osweiler out there.
You take someone in to bring him a competition, and you have them duel out for the.
Personally, I wanted Tyrod, but.
That's a lot of money.
I think Tyrod is too much money.
Tyrod's starting caliber.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let me say something about him. Fitzmagic. He not only has a connection with Deshaun Jackson, which we saw earlier in the season. He's older, which means he's going to be cheaper, and we saw him thrive in the backup position behind Jameis Winston. So to me, he's the primary decision. Nate Sudfeld doesn't have much experience.
No. I would like to say though, I am very happy for Nick Foles. The man deserves his money.
Let's all give him.
He deserves his money.
Nick Foles deserves to be a starting quarterback.
Nick Foles does.
I do believe though he's not going to play well.
But rip all those Jacksonville fans that went out and got a number 9 Jacksonville Jaguars jersey for Nick Foles. He changed his number to number 7. So.
Did he?
Did he really?
Wow.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Nick Foles, but I feel like we made the right decision. And I know some of you guys don't agree with that, but I think we made the right decision.
I do. I completely agree with it because everybody's given up on Carson Wentz. Okay, yes or no, Connor? I see you giving me a look on there. Yes or no? We would have made the playoffs with Nick Foles in order to get to the Super Bowl. If Nick Foles would have been starting that year. Day one of the season.
No, we would not have made it. No, we wouldn't have. I agree with that.
And also,
no way you start 11-2 over 13 games with Nick Foles as your starting quarterback. I completely agree, but that's not my point.
And also, the other thing is that even though Nick Foles played amazing, in that playoff run, the next year when we went into another playoff run, Nick Foles wasn't playing that amazing. He was throwing
He
interceptions
actually
in
had
each game.
at least one interception in every game he played.
It just everyone else was stepping up, and I don't think that was because of Nick Foles.
He fits the coaching style of Peterson and Reed because they're pretty similar coaches. He's always fit that. If you look at any other team he's been on, he's either been injured or he
Jeff
just
Fisher
hasn't
doesn't.
played.
I think the
exactly.
downfall of Nick Foles, as far as being on the Eagles goes, he didn't play as well when Frank Reich wasn't the offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
That's true. This is true.
Well, he has his quarterbacks coach John V. Filippo as the offensive coordinator.
I like that down.
I think it's a perfect situation for him down
And
there.
like many people said before, they just need to install the offense that Reich had, and when Foles is starting, the RPOs, it's good for him. The screens, they need that, and they're going to succeed.
Wright was a great coordinator. Great.
He's doing great for the Colts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
for him.
One thing I want to bring up is obviously Wentz had some problems last year, even though people didn't really give him a chance. Only 11 games.
I gave him a chance.
But one thing I want to talk about is how can we improve that? And we just got Deshaun Jackson, which let me remind you, he had the most runs that went over 20 miles per hour last year.
Yeah, he did.
He's not rusty. He just had a bad
averaged
quarterback.
the most yards per play by a wide receiver with 18.9.
I would like to say though,
yards.
Nick Foles is a way better deep ball thrower than
He is.
Carson
I
Wentz.
completely agree.
I think that's going to be the problem. Even if we do have Deshaun Jackson, how much does Wentz actually throw?
We haven't really
outside
seen
wide
him
receivers?
throw deep.
Exactly.
No,
We
we
haven't
haven't.
seen him-
There's a reason Zach
we haven't
Ertz
seen
got
him
the
throw
record
deep.
last season.
Wentz-
That's because he just dumped it off to Zach Ertz.
Wentz
haven't
does
seen
have a gunslinger attitude.
Yeah, maybe he does, but we haven't seen him throw deep since the 2017
You
season.
saw a little bit of it in the 2017 season with Smith.
You had
Hollins.
Smith, Mac Hollins going deep. All of them were deep threats. He did go down a little bit. Aguilar was more of a deep threat that season too.
I'm happy we kept Aguilar.
I'm also happy. I think
I
like
think
Aguilar.
Deshaun Jackson is going to provide good
I know-
experience for Aguilar.
I know, Kyle, you have a pretty strange, unorthodox opinion on Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, no, I do not like the trade. I think that
I don't
Deshaun Jackson, he's aging, and I get that he's still not he's still starter caliber, but I still don't think that we need to pay him, especially a guy that's aging. I think we go out and get a younger guy in the draft in a lower round. Try to develop him.
I do see your point. I wanted Tyrell Williams. I really wanted to sign him, but
Sure, we could have went and got some draft pick, but it could have ended up bad.
Exactly.
Deshaun
Draft picks
Jackson.
are never
You don't know that this is gonna end up bad because you know what happened to Golden Tate.
Golden Tate did not fit the offense.
Golden Tate did not do well.
But here's-
we brought him in thinking that he'd be a great
Hey,
improvement
man,
for our
he's
offense.
one of the only reasons we did.
But here's the thing,
make it
that's-
to the second round of the playoffs.
Here's the thing,
He
Golden.
had one touchdown catch
That he had.
helped us in the
He was.
playoffs.
Thomas,
He also had a
no,
great worm
Thomas brings up a
celebration.
good point. What do we have beat the Bears?
We traded a
If it
fourth
was
round
a-
pick for one.
I mean, no, Cody
touchdown.
Parkey's
It was the
also.
third round.
Cody Parkey's the greatest Eagles kicker
Oh,
in history.
for sure.
right?
Cody
He wasn't
Parkey.
even on
Can we
the
have a round of applause for Cody Parkey?
Yes, Cody Parkey.
Oh wait, guys, so I do have to bring up
Congratulations.
this. Okay, so we're really starting to run out of options at running back at this point in free agency. Tevin Coleman with the 49ers. You just have Mark
I
Ingram go to
hated
the
that.
Ravens. I wanted Tevin Coleman.
And he was so affordable.
I know.
$10 million.
I think your
I
only
was
options
so
at this
upset.
point, and this was reported last week, was that the Eagles were interested in trading for Duke Johnson from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Or Jordan Howard.
After Nick Chubb became the lead back in Ohio, Duke
Yeah.
Johnson kind of just lost his role there. So I would. You could also trade for Jordan Howard. He's apparently on the trading block right now. I think those are good options, but I still think going out and either getting Mark Ingram or Tevin Coleman would have been the better
It would have
option.
been.
It would have been the better option.
And
I
the
agree.
Eagles hate drafting running backs.
Yeah.
We have not had a good ball carrier or like a solid running back one in that position since Shady.
Now I
Yeah.
can bring up that LeGarrette Blunt is a free agent and he's gonna be really cheap.
But here's the thing. I don't
We should've
think
never let
LeGarrette.
LeGarrette
I don't
Blunt
think LeGarrette Blunt runs well without a system running back. I get it.
That's why you
Corey
trade
Clement.
for Jordan Howard.
You
No,
have a community running back.
we can't
It's
afford
just
both.
a community running. Okay, ready? I have a good one. Linebacker. Are you guys feeling safe with linebackers?
Oh, no, not at all.
Nobody's feeling safe.
I think linebacker is the only position for the Eagles that is worse than running
That
back
is the one thing I couldn't process what Howie Roseman was doing. I trust Howie Roseman completely.
Was
and
Jordan
everything.
Hicks just too expensive?
I would like to
Was
bring
that
up
the
a good
problem?
point though. This LJ, what's his last name? LJ Ford.
Yeah, LJ Ford.
LJ Ford. His only career interception was against Michael Vick.
Wow.
Funny.
Yeah.
This is a guy that's played in the league for 7 years, and has he ever started?
He's never started.
7 years. He was a backup for the Steelers.
But who is he going to be a backup to? Who is our starting middle linebacker?
We don't have one. That's
Exactly.
why But why would you
Do we
start?
draft one? Is there any good
That's
middle
what I
linebacker prospect?
We go
No,
for
it's all
Devin
D-line.
Bush. We go for Devin Bush if he's there. Devin White's obviously not going to be there. He's going to get drafted maybe top 10.
Everybody, yeah.
How about we were talking about running back earlier, or not earlier, like 3 minutes ago. What about the running back prospect of
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
Isn't going to fall to 25.
But here's the thing: we have plenty of draft picks to trade
We
up.
do.
It
You're
would
right.
It would be
understand that.
a perfect scenario to.
The only
if we don't get a running
what
back.
I would have done is I would have packaged our first and like if we had a third, maybe like a third and a fourth, but for Cleveland's pick, but they just obviously traded that in
We
that
got the
blockbuster
good end
trade.
of the Michael Bennett trade, I think.
We really?
jumped off some salary cap.
Oh yeah, we won that.
Yep, and we
I
got
think we
You
won that
guys
trade.
really think we won that trade?
Yes, I do.
Mm.
Derek
Here's-
Barnett's coming.
Here's the thing:
Derek
Derek Barnett's coming back.
Derek
Great
Barnett's coming. He had a serious injury though, but he's really young. That rookie season, he was fantastic. So I think he's going to be back better than he ever was.
Okay, but I would also like to
I
say-
think Bennett's a lot better than Barnett as well.
But he's aging.
It's a difference.
He also didn't want to. He wanted.
He
more
wanted
money.
way
He
more
would not
money.
take a
Bennett-
pay
Yeah,
Yeah,
cut.
no, we definitely couldn't have kept him on the roster.
Okay, but I would like
This
to say
way-
before we. Oh, go ahead. Edan.
This way we have Barnett to develop. This way we have cap space, and now we have an extra 5th round pick. To me, that's a win. To me, Bennett.
I understand that.
Bennett was a great asset to have this season, but I kind of saw it in the beginning as a one-time thing because we weren't going to pay him that, and we have Barnett. So I'm totally for this trade.
Okay, so I would like to just almost wrap up this segment here by saying, "Rip Giants fans."
Yeah.
Oh man.
I would like to say though, in my opinion, it was kind of a smart move.
See,
By
I
them,
feel
because
like
they drafted
No.
they drafted a quarterback with the 6th.
Listen,
They draft the quarterback with the 6th.
Who's the
17th pick? O-line.
There's no
Who's the
quarterbacks
quarterback gonna
unless
throw to?
That's what I'm saying.
Dwayne Haskins is
Dwayne.
who's
You
projected to
either
go.
get Dwayne Haskins or you get Kyler Murray.
Inconsistent.
Here's-
Kyler Murray's going number 1.
Drew
No.
Lock. They're not going to draft. Drew
Here's the
Drew
thing:
Lock.
Kyle Murray's gonna go before the 6th, and
Arizona's taking Kyler.
And
Murray.
here's what I understand, that in a way, in some context, the Giants chose Eli Manning over Odell Beckham.
And that's just a joke. That is honestly a joke.
I'm sorry. Look, you gave him a massive contract. Everything was looking fine, and then you trade him for a first, a third, and Jabril Peppers.
Do you see how
Jabril Peppers is a good.
He's a
young
good
player.
he's a good player, but
He's a
generational
I feel like people are
talent.
just genuinely downplaying what they got back in the trade. Like Antonio Brown, the Steelers got a 3rd and a 5th. That is nothing.
that
nothing.
trade is an different
the
is
Gi- the
entirely
I would
different
like to
animal.
say the
The
Browns
Giants
are
did get a really good
stacked.
The Brown,
The Browns are
I
stacked.
could legitimately see a Browns Ravens AFC Championship game.
Oh yeah, the Browns.
No.
The Browns.
I mean, the Ravens also. I think the
I don't-
Ravens
I don't
are
ha-
one
I
of
don't
the
believe in
winners
Lamar
of this
Jackson.
week.
I'm gonna
They
say
got
this, no.
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas and Mark Ingram.
Lamar Jackson is
I don't bel-
still trash.
I don't believe in Lamar Jackson.
I do not believe in Lamar
Lamar
I
Jackson
don't
as a
believe
wide receiver or running back. Okay, not as a quarterback. Not as
Lamar
a
Jackson crippled so hard during the playoffs. There's
Yeah,
just no
yeah.
And
way.
he can't hold on to the ball.
He fumbles.
Exactly.
He throws interceptions.
He fumbled like 4 times
Four
during
times
the
in
last
that
playoff
game.
game. It was
Yeah.
awful.
It was, yeah. He definitely needs to develop, and if I don't know, he's just not an NFL caliber quarterback
Not
to
to
me.
me.
I
Not
think
to me.
trading Joe Flacco was the right decision. They don't need Joe Flacco anymore.
I want
They
to
cannot
Broncos-
I want
rely.
to say this. I want people to hear this once and for all. Stop comparing Lamar Jackson to Michael Vick.
Don't do it.
Please.
He's
Michael
not
Vick is
Michael Vick.
Not as good of a deep threat.
First of all, Michael Vick, I already brought up this point with Edan the other day. Michael Vick, whenever he wanted, could throw a 70-yard pass to Deshaun Jackson down the field.
And that's the thing. Michael Vick,
Lamar can't
while
do
being
that.
one of the best runners, better than Randy Cunningham, probably one of the best runners quarterbacks in the NFL of all time. Best scrambling
Not a better
quarterback.
punter.
Yeah.
Best scrambling quarterback of all time.
Third longest punt in NFL history.
Wow.
Randall Cunningham.
Wow. Are you serious?
I'm dead
That's-
serious.
that's crazy.
I didn't
So
know that.
Michael
92-yard punt.
Holy
Wow,
cow.
Michael
That's
Vick is probably the best scrambling quarterback of all time. That hands down, no one beats him at that.
Okay, so going back to the linebacker thing real quick.
wait,
Oh, okay, Connor. Mr. Giants fan over there.
I've always been an Eagles fan. My dad was a Giants fan. Okay,
All right,
getting to the
continue.
point.
Eli Manning.
Michael Vick had an astonishing arm. I
That's my
feel
point.
like
And he had the legs to back it up.
he was one of the best passers.
He
in
would have
the
won a
early
Super Bowl
2000s.
with Atlanta, no doubt.
He could have won a Super Bowl. His career just got cut.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Shouldn't have done what he did.
All right.
Oh, wait,
Speaking of should've, should have the Sixers fire Brett Brown?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
he's backing out.
No.
Okay.
No.
Here's the thing.
No.
No. Thomas.
Give me a reasoning behind that.
Okay,
Honestly.
look, okay.
Give me a
so-
reasoning.
No, I want to hear your reasoning first. Why do you think Brett Brown should be fired?
Let me just start this out by saying Brett Brown gets no credit for what he does right. I will say that. He never gets credit for what he does right, and he gets ripped apart for what he does wrong. But
Welcome
he
to
can't close out
Philadelphia sports.
exactly.
Okay. I just.
He can't close out games.
That's
the
the players.
reason
That's not on him
it's
at that
not the
point.
players. It is not the players. Jimmy Butler is clutch.
Okay, I
Tobias
would like
Harris
to say though,
is clutch.
versus the
T.J. McConnell is clutch.
the Bulls. The Bulls.
The
Are you
Bulls
ready?
game.
The Bulls.
We're up by 10.
Brett Brown could not go in there and play defense himself. Jimmy Butler and Mike Scott were staring at each other.
Listen,
okay,
that
no,
was
the
Mike
Bulls-
Scott's fault.
Okay, the Bulls game was really
Was
frustrating for a lot of our fans.
For me,
Bulls game's Bulls.
it was insane.
But the one thing I want to mention is that Golden State game where we kind of had control there towards the end,
Exactly.
and Brett Brown tells Ben Simmons, or I
Missed
don't
a free
know,
throw.
I don't know if he told him to do this or not, but he could have made that free throw, make it go a 1-point game, foul him, and then we get the ball back and try to shoot a 3.
Now,
I just don't understand that time
Look,
management.
there
he
were
is
mental
not
decisions.
killing the Sixers because if we're gonna be real here, at this point in the season, when it comes down to playoff mentality, Brett Brown kind of has like that brotherly love, but he also has the chemistry that goes with it. So there's
I
a
just
lot of
don't
things
see
that
it.
you have off the court that goes with it. Like he's been able to control the personality of Joel, Jimmy Butler.
Sure.
We have I would say if Tobias Harris would have been playing like this in LA, he would have been an all-star. Can we
Now-
all agree?
Definitely.
Now-
Yes.
Okay, we have 4 all-stars on our team.
5.
JJ Redick, I would say is a
5.
star.
5.
I'm not going to call him an all-star.
5.
Okay, but are you ready? When it comes
Not
down
as
to that,
lately.
you have all of these big egos, because we all know NBA players have like the biggest egos of all
Yes.
sports. Okay, look, if you have that many egos, you know how hard that is to control. Why do you think Golden State is so good? Why do you think Steve Kerr is so good? Because he can control the egos of the players on and off the
On the
court.
contrary,
can't tell
on
me-
the contrary, when Markelle Fultz left Philadelphia, do you know what he said? He said it's nice to have a coach. He's talking about his new coach. It's nice to have a coach that doesn't tell me what I want to hear, but tells me something along those lines. Something
There's a
about
20-year-old
remember that
kid
quote.
on a team.
I
Okay,
remember
look,
that
We
quote.
can all agree. Brett Brown's coaching style is not small ball.
Brett
Yes,
Brown
it's not small ball.
It's not small ball.
Okay, when Joel and Boban were out, God, I love Boban. But
Yeah,
when Joel
everybody
and
loves
Boban
Boban.
were out, when Joel and Boban were out, you had Jonah Bolden and Amir Johnson, and then Justin Patton came in. What was it, 2 games ago?
2 games.
But he was just there for pickup time. Look, it's not his style.
Look, I gotta say,
But we played bad.
we did.
Who? Well, the Sixers, yes, because Brett Brown's style is not small ball.
Okay, but
The
good
Sixers-
coaches would be able to adjust to that.
Brett Brown can't close
Look,
out
We
games.
we have
look.
we have 4 all-stars. We have 4 all-stars on one team.
Yes.
And we have still been struggling since the Tobias Harris
We
trade.
Player
almost
who
lost to the
averages
Cavs.
27 points a game when he's not in there.
Okay, I understand.
Your team is not gonna.
Do you know what happened
Look,
last
I think
year?
Embiid and Boban being out.
Do
killed
you
the
know what
Sixers
happened
number.
last year when Embiid got out? When Embiid went out?
Ben
The
Simmons went
Sixers
off.
go on a 16-game winning streak.
That's because Ben Simmons went
Ben
off.
Simmons
Ben
went
Simmons
off
is getting
anyway.
better.
Ben Simmons has been going off the last
Yeah,
30
yeah,
games as
he
far as
has.
I'm concerned. He just had 26 points against the Cavs. That was a
Sure.
phenomenal performance. But
Okay,
if the Sixers were able to do that last year,
here's
why can't you do it this year with more stars?
Okay,
here's
no, I
one
wanna
thing.
hear
Here's one thing we can agree with. Just for the sake of time, we can all agree to disagree on whether Brett Brown is a good coach. Am I right?
He's
Yeah.
not a good coach. You can't tell me. You can't tell me if Tyronn Lue was available If Tyronn Lue was available, I would pick him up right now.
No, okay.
I would totally do
No.
that.
Tyronn
totally
Lue was
do
like
that.
a
Alright, moving
Tyronn Lue was like a bench player on the Cavs. Okay, I want to hear something though. Do any of you have any hot takes or crazy statements about the Sixers right now?
The Sixers will not go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Sixers will go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose.
Kyle?
The Sixers should start T.J. McConnell over Ben Simmons.
No, and I'm not joking.
No.
Kyle is being serious about this. He
Start-
told me this.
I am in love with that man.
Starting
T.J.
lineup.
McConnell.
Starting lineup: TJ at point guard, Jimmy at shooting guard,
No. TJ
Tobias
at
at
every
small
position.
forward.
Are you being serious?
Bennett
when you say
power
that?
forward, and Joel.
I'm sorry. I cannot comprehend of how wrong that statement is that Kyle just made.
That's just not.
TJ's
He's
a
like
great
one of those.
bench
He's like one of those
player.
people who's like, yeah,
He has great hustle.
We drafted Ben Simmons to be a power forward.
Yeah.
That's like saying you drafted Zach Ertz to be quarterback.
Yeah.
So, like,
I've been to 2 Sixers games in the last 2 years, alright? At both of them, T.J. McConnell played more time than anyone else.
I will
before.
say the only game we beat against Boston in that playoff series, TJ McConnell went off.
but I was
TJ
yelling,
McConnell's-
Connor. You remember last year? I was
Wait,
yelling at
speaking-
you the whole time that we should have started TJ in the playoffs,
Yeah,
or
we
we should
should've.
have played.
TJ
the
is
playoffs.
not a
okay,
bad
are we
player
ready?
whatsoever.
Are we ready?
Speaking,
Are the Sixers as good as they should be?
no.
No.
And
no,
why?
No. We should have at least 50 wins by now.
Why? Brett Brown. Anyway,
Exactly.
we're moving on. Speaking about Boston, somebody just mentioned Boston. Why can't we beat Boston or teams like Boston? Why can't we beat?
I don't
Houston?
think we've seen the real Sixers yet. Bottom line,
No,
we didn't.
there has never been a game. The best game I've seen the Sixers play
Golden
this year
State.
was the Golden State game.
Okay,
by
but I would like
far.
to say if you look at most of the times that we've played Boston this season, Tobias Harris, wasn't that his first game?
that was
back.
his first game.
Okay, look, but that takes time
It wasn't his
to
first
add them
game.
in.
That-
I still think Jimmy Butler's still adding into the team.
Exactly.
I think he does a lot when it comes into clutch situations, and that's what we need at this point is a clutch player. But he also provides good on screens, grabbing the ball. Like, he can be a backup point guard if you need him and stuff like that. Like, he likes the ball in his hands.
I just want to
But with
establish
Embiid, when Embiid
Jimmy's
being
not going to
injured,
be here next year.
it takes many stars on the court to beat a Boston team with a good coach like Brad Stevens, and I just think it takes time for each All-Star to understand their role on the team at this point. I don't think we've seen that yet. So I think if it comes down to the playoffs and we see, the Sixers, I think Jimmy Butler's going to be able to close it out, and I think everybody's going to be able to figure out their positions at that point. But if you think about it, at this point, we have not seen the real Sixers,
No.
especially not versus Boston.
But let me tell you why we can't beat Boston. Let me tell you the real reason is that we cannot beat shooting teams for our life.
We look every
We-
All-Star. We make every shooting guard look like a Hall of Fame
We
All-Star.
they have Kyrie
God,
Irving.
Terrence Ross goes off
Devin
on
Booker,
us.
James
They have-
Harden.
They have Kyrie Irving. They have Gordon Hayward who can shoot. They have Marcus Smart who can shoot. They
Sort of.
have
Morris always goes off against
Yeah,
us.
they have Morris who can shoot, and even Hal Horford.
Al
who plays
Horford is the only player
center
who can
slash
contain Joel
power forward.
Embiid.
Yes, and here's the thing: if we can't beat these shooting teams, we will never make it to the playoffs.
How do you expect to beat the
only
Warriors?
reason why we beat the Warriors that one time is because they shot awful.
They shot awful. Steph and KD were the only ones who made threes, and Clay
2
wasn't even
seasons
playing.
ago? Yeah, I think it was 2 seasons ago. Steph Curry became the best and worst shooter ever
Yeah,
because he went 0 for 12
Against
against
us, I remember that.
Yeah,
game.
against
Steph-
us. So technically, he's the best and worst 3-shooter in NBA.
That was that
in
was the first game.
technicality, yes.
He didn't make a single three. It was like their first game, like 300
Hold on, can we just
games.
talk about something real quick?
Yeah.
The James Harden versus Antetokounmpo issue here.
That's
with the
not a,
MVP.
that's not a question.
Who do you
That's
have?
not a question. Antetokounmpo.
Man, this is this one is so tough because
James Harden can only score.
Well, you know what?
Have you seen those videos of him trying to play defense before?
Actually, I'm not going to say he
there
can
are
only
compilations
score.
of him on YouTube
Because he
just
gets
standing
triple doubles
around.
all the time.
Okay, I would like to say that for me it's Harden.
Really?
Let me
Really?
let me say it.
Okay.
Well,
For me, it's Harden.
Antetokounmpo is a massive force in the East. Even in the whole entire league, like he's just a massive force, right?
He's carrying the bus.
James Harden is honestly playing unbelievable. Did you know that James Harden could legitimately score 0 points for the rest of the season and still end with a league-leading 28.9 points?
That is insane.
Yes, because he's averaging 36.3 because he had 2 games back to back where he went off for like 58 and 54 back in like December. Or
James
whatever.
Harden is unbelievable. I watch him
James
and
Harden
I
is
think
borderline unguardable.
I think he is unguardable. It's impossible. And Giannis, although he is almost unguardable. I've seen him been guarded earlier this season when they played the Sixers. I saw Embiid totally isolate Giannis.
Everyone talks about Ben Simmons not having a jumper. Antetokounmpo, get yours.
Okay,
He
well here's
has
the
a
thing.
jump.
Giannis
He has a legitimately.
Giannis has better handles. Giannis can dunk better.
That's true, but the
Giannis
man's wingspan's like as tall as
is
me.
much more of a force in the paint, and honestly, Giannis has a jump shot that works.
You know, I just wanna tell you guys that Ben Simmons. I want people to stop saying that, you know, he's a bad player because he can't shoot. Because that's
they don't give him credit.
No,
for what
I
he does.
believe he is a bad player because over the summer he did not work on his jumper.
Why? Why would
he
he do
came
that?
out
I was
and said,
so mad.
He came out and said that he wasn't going to work on
He
his
said
jumper.
he just wasn't going to work.
Here's
If
the
he
thing.
would have worked on his jumper over summer, he's hitting
MVP level.
He's hitting these fadeaways.
MVP level.
He's hitting these fadeaways now. Imagine if he would have worked on it all of summer. Markelle Fultz shot over the summer more than Ben Simmons did.
Okay,
Ben
Markelle
Simmons would be
Fultz
a
is a
borderline
completely
MVP.
different story.
I'm happy.
At
for
least
Markelle.
Markelle
I hope he
Fultz
gets
made
I
it.
hope
Ben
he gets
Simmons,
his,
Ben
chance to go
Simmons needs to learn to like shoot a 3, obviously. But here's the thing:
I'm not
if he
asking
learns,
for
I'm
a
not asking
three.
for a
I'm
three.
not
I'm
asking
asking
for
for
a
a
three.
consistent
Learns-
mid-range jumper.
if he even learns to shoot, you know, a foul shot,
I think he's gotten
he
better
can
at
he
foul
can he can honestly become that Giannis that we
better than Giannis.
no
Yes.
not better than, not
What?
we can't say that.
How do we think the Sixers are going to finish the season?
Record-wise,
Yes. No, not sure.
I think we're gonna win every single game for the rest of the season except for against the Celtics.
No.
Yeah, I see us beating the Bucks. I see us, and I know the Bucks are a great team, but
the Bucks, honestly,
who on our team can guard Giannis on?
nobody can guard Giannis.
Embiid.
The Bucks are borderline unguardable by us anyway because they're a shooting team. It's literally Giannis and a bunch of 3-point shooters.
Okay, so
That's
I think the Sixers are going to end up in the 4 spot.
in the 4 spot.
Yes, I think we're going to go behind the Bucks, Raptors, and Pacers. But
wow,
I also have I have a bold prediction.
What are we gonna be?
oh he's
Boston in the
no
first
Thomas.
round?
I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say we're gonna win the finals.
No, I'm saying the Nets take over the 5 spot.
Wow! Oh wow! Oh my!
Wow,
goodness.
Thomas, you are really making some accusations
Okay.
that can really
You
really
really think
get
You
you
really
some hate.
think that? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
You know what? We're gonna end this segment on that, and we're gonna come back to that next time, and we're gonna see if Thomas, you know, a week later from now, we're gonna see
When
if
the
the Nets.
Celtics have won 8
We're gonna see
straight
if the
games.
Nets. We're gonna
No,
see
you
if
know
the
the
Nets
Nets
are
are
even in
right
that
behind the
position.
Celtics.
They're not
Stand.
right behind. They're like 4 games back.
Thomas. All right. All right. Let's talk about just let's all go around and let's say our March Madness just real quick. Our March Madness
Final 4 prediction.
Final 4 prediction.
By the way,
or just
anybody
winner.
that didn't know, Villanova won today, 73-62 final. Beat Providence.
This
so
is
moving on to
this
the
is on
East
Thursday. We're recording on Thursday, just by the way, and people are gonna hear this on Friday. So, okay.
Tune in every Friday.
So Thomas, we'll start with you.
I'm going University of Kentucky at 1.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Jayhawks at 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Duke at 3. I'm going to Tennessee at 4.
Tennessee. He's got Tennessee in there.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not participating in March Madness.
No.
What?
No.
Honestly, I have to agree with Thomas because it's the same every year.
You think you're going exactly the same seating and
it's
everything.
got to be.
Okay.
You don't even think Nova's gonna get there?
Nova's not going to. Nova, this is a rebuild. Not a rebuilding, but this is a just general
The
building
only
year
2
for Nova.
players I think we have is Eric Pascal
And Phil Booth.
Phil Booth,
That's
and
it.
even they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
I mean, as most NBA basketball players are.
All right. Here's my prediction. I think I see Kentucky in there. I see
Michigan, actually.
I
got
yeah.
Michigan.
I
I'll take Michigan.
actually want Michigan in my Final 4. I haven't made my bracket yet.
No, neither have I.
But I think that Duke is gonna get number 1, and I think Duke is gonna win it all.
With Zion or without Zion?
With Zion.
Okay.
I was gonna say because of Zion. If Zion plays, nobody's.
It's not a
Let's
question.
just hope
I'm
Zion
sorry.
has some reinforcements in his shoes this time.
Okay. well, I think we're gonna wrap up our first podcast
That was good, that
ever,
was good.
and I had such a great time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. This has really been an amazing experience running Eagle Sixer Nation, and I really, really, really hope this can grow. And you know, I had you guys have been amazing supporting my podcast, my Instagram page, and now you guys are going to be on my podcast, which is going to be amazing. And I'm really excited to see where this goes.
I'm really excited for the future of the podcast. I think people really do need to tune in every Friday. Here's some fun Philly sports conversations.
Every Friday.
Hot takes.
By the
ugly hot takes.
By the way, just want to bring this up because we were talking about the Eagles earlier. Kirk Cousins is ranked higher than Carson Wentz on the PFF.
Okay, we'll get to that
Bobby
next time.
and
I don't even want to deal with that. Okay, guys,
Bobby and
make
Toby.
sure you tune in to
Bobby
Eagle
and
Sixer
Toby.
Nation on YouTube, on podcast. I mean, not on podcast. What am I saying? Make sure you tune into Eagle Sixer Nation on YouTube and on SoundCloud. And as always, fly Eagles fly. Trust the process, and I'll see you guys next week.
Boban for Eastern Conference MVP.
Eastern Conference.